Tweet it out so everybody join in here. 1 second, please. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. And woo, what a day today! Talk about the market getting a case of the Mondays. So it was an interesting one for sure, right? I mean, we were gapping down overnight, and then we were gapping up this morning, and then we pushed, and then rut-row. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more today. But anyway, guys, our series this week is the importance of volume. Really, really important stuff. And each day we're going to look at, we're going to kind of try to pull up some scenarios here where we like to use volume to our advantage, and how it can give us clues in the market action, and sometimes give us some setups here too. So anyway, guys, before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, good, good, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market here today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. And then we're going to go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, guys, so SPX down 30 points here today, but the monthly chart is still green. Weekly chart starting off with an inside week right here, but we're kind of getting in this funky tight range right here. I mean, what's really interesting about this is this, right? These lower shadows right here, and then now we got kind of these upper shadows right here. So we're in this kind of funky range right here, and we had this bit of a tug-of-war here on the daily chart between the open gap above, right? So we had an open gap above, just missed. Let me get the this tool out here, right here. So we had open gap above, just missed right here, and then we had the open gap below, which was here today, and then it looks like the bears won, right? And so that was the big thing today, right? So what was today? Today was Columbus Day holiday, which means that it was a bank holiday, right? Even though the market was open. And so so what happened was the Fed was off today, and basically the plunge protection team wasn't there to buy the dip today, and the market actually kind of took a little bit of direction, right? So so pretty interesting stuff there, but ultimately we've been pretty bearish, right? So why? Because we're in a macro downward trend, right? So we're under the macro downward trend line right here. So again, and surprises, quote unquote, surprises tend to be the downside when we're in a downtrend, right? It's right until the trend bends, right? Is what they like to say. So, but anyway, gap filled here today, and a close under the 80 MA. The only thing is, it's not a huge amount of volume on the SPY. So we'll see how that holds up going into this evening. So let's take a look at the wave count. So wave count's pretty interesting, right? So at this point now, right, we may have finished this whole wave down, and we're kind of working on this 1, 2, right, kind of one-ish 2, right? We're kind of 1, 2, 3, and this is kind of ABC wave 4 right here. It's still possible that wave 4 is in. Now it's odd that wave 4 pulls back this much, like to the 618. Normally that's kind of like a wave 2 move. This is actually where we were expecting the wave 2 to pull back. When we theorized about the 1, 2, 1, 2 last week. Like, could this be a 1, 2, 1, 2? So, I mean, it kind of could. You could say that, hey, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was a big wave 5 right there. That could still play out right here. This is actually an ABC wave 2 down, so it is possible. It still is a 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a tricky part of Elliott wave, right? You get multiple counts, right? But it also, because of the guideline of alternation, this still could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we still could see a wave 5 up, right? So those are a couple bullish counts on it. But there's also some bearish counts on it. I know it's like Elliott wave. It's like it makes you dizzy. But once you catch, once you get confident in a wave, like today, we were pretty confident there was going to be a pullback today, whether or not it was a wave 4, whether or not it was a wave 2, or whether or not it was a wave 3, and that gave us, extra confidence to look for short opportunities, right? So, where's the wave 3? So there's actually a bearish count right here. It's actually, this could be wave 1, and this whole thing, A, B, C, could be wave 2, and we actually could be working on a wave 3 down. So that's why we were pretty excited about the short side anyway, because however you looked at it, it was either a wave 4, it was either a wave 2, or it was either a massive wave 3, and anyway, it's kind of sliced and diced it with some downside action potential today. So once we got the setups, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here on volume, we'll go over that and see why we look to get short here today. All right, so let's take a look at the S&P futures. See what we're up to or down to here. It's down about 5 points here tonight, so just kind of chopping around right now. Not really too much go. There was a time where 5 points was like huge, but now it's just kind of like a daily thing, especially with the volatility where it's at right now. But anyway, we got over this this geometric line right here. We got that geometric line right here to still contend with, right? And then we kind of got these little geos here to kind of deal with here tonight. So just a couple levels right here. Again, they kept us under. This is from our game plan here. We provide all these levels to our Discord members. We put these levels in the bubble report every morning, and so you can kind of trade again. You can see how important these levels are, right? Once we get to these levels, and part of our game plan today is if we lost the overnight lows, the ONLs right here, after filling, and we ended up fading that gap. once we lost this, right, we were like, hey, there's room to the downside. However, it was late in the day and we'd already had a big move down. But if it had, so for instance, if this morning we couldn't get over this geometric line right here and we started to break below here, right, there's a lot of clear air down at that level down there. So we were kind of looking at that as a possibility. But instead they pushed it up this morning. We're going to take a look at that here in a little bit and kind of talk about it. In the meantime, we're just kind of chopping around here this evening. So let's see if we can hold this 43.40 level here and just kind of see what we have in store for tonight. But in the meantime, kind of choppy. So not too much going on this week. We've got Fed minutes on Wednesday. Normally not a big deal at all. However, the last time the Fed minutes were actually pretty volatile because they gave like kind of some indication that, hey, the economy's not really going that good. Inflation's a little bit higher than we thought it was going, right? And tapering, might be something that we want to go a little bit sooner, right? So it kind of got things really going a lot more. Normally the minutes are just like, just whatever. It's kind of a restatement of what they said the other day. But the minutes do get a little bit more in detail what the different folks at the Fed are saying and kind of thinking, right? So it kind of gives the algo something more to work with. And last time, I tell you, anything's Fed these days is gets things moving, especially with the taper tantrum and the inflation and all that stuff. But seems to be kind of simmering down a little bit, right? There is not as much JPOW out there, not as much Fed stuff, right? With the whole investigation, right, into the government, into the governors, for their trading and all that stuff. But kind of interesting that some of them are leaving, right, a little bit early, kind of, resigning and all that stuff. Maybe not because of their trading, but maybe because they actually want to short the market. Anybody think about that? Kind of interesting stuff, right? So anyway, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, that's the S&P futures kind of chopping around here this evening, and then we'll see where we go from there. All right, guys, cool. So let's take a look and see what we got. So this week we're going to be talking about the importance of volume. So really, really cool stuff, guys. And this week we're basically going to go through a couple different scenarios, where we see volume, how we use it to our advantage, and really, really cool stuff. So today was a great example of it. So intraday volume, right? Normally, when we look for trading, we see high volume at the open. We kind of see low volume in the middle, right? And then we see, reasonably high volume at the end of the day. We've been seeing a lot more high volume at the end of the day with, I guess, with all the option activity and all that stuff, but with assignments and things like that. But we've been seeing huge volume spikes at the end of the day. Anyway, usually beginning right in the end, and then the only time you really typically see higher volume in the middle is when there's a push, right? When there's some sort of intraday push, or there's some big interest or big news or something like that. Otherwise, it's kind of tapering. But when you start to see volume amping up intraday, like here, we start to get interested, right? So one of the things that we can do is, and that we do is that we look at the intraday volume, right? So SPX, we like to trade SPX, right? You sell premium on SPX, you trade SPX options, whatever the case is, whatever you like to do, and it's definitely one of the things that you can look at. It's one of our favorite, indexes to trade, right? But what you can use SPY or the S&P futures to look at volume to see, when things make sense to trade, right? When things are looking interesting, right? So let me try to clean this up a little bit here for you guys. So, right, and so that's what we like to do, right? And so when we go here at the 5-minute chart, right, you can look at some increasing volume right here, but sometimes it doesn't give us as much clarity. Sometimes it does, right? We'll talk about that a little bit more this week. But what I want to do is I want to show you the 60-minute time frame. Okay, and this is a time frame that we like to use. A lot of times I like to use it without the pre-market hours on, but sometimes you get some really great detail because SPY, kind of like the futures, trades throughout the night, and it can give you some good clues and some good setups. So one of the things that we looked at today was this, right? The potential for a bull flag breakout. And so what I want to point out here is that we were generally bullish going into today, right? So we pushed up pre-market, we gave a nice move, right? We had an okay move, but what I want to show you here is that today was a holiday, right? Today was Columbus Day. So we had 3 theories today. One of the theories was that we could see a low volume drift up, right? And that happens sometimes on these holidays. It just, if there's no sellers present, right? Just had that low volume drift up. So we were definitely looking to for that opportunity. So we did have a long opportunity at the open, but there was definitely an opportunity to take profit and an opportunity to basically to know when to hold them and to know when to fold them, right? So that's kind of the idea. But check out the volume this morning, right? Look at this down here. So compared to the previous days, right? So just those last couple days, and that was a Friday, right? Normally Friday pretty low volume, right? I mean, these other days right here, huge volume coming in, right? And then today, yeah, you can't really see it right here, but today a lot less volume, right? So that kind of gets us a little bit suspect, right? It makes the initial move up a little bit sus, right? And so so that's one of the things that we look at right here. But we looked at the potential for a potential bull flag breakout. We got a nice move at the open, and we got a little bit of follow follow through, right? So there's definitely a trade in there, right? So at that point here, when you start to see this upper shadow, and you start to see things kind of change composure, right? You can kind of look to take profit and say, hey, look, there might be a change of composure right here. We're coming up into a little resistance. We're not getting over these major levels, and this breakout doesn't really seem to be as strong as we'd really like it to be, right? Lower volume at the open than the other day, so it wasn't really pushing, right? And it made sense where you kind of expected that with the day today, right? With the holiday. Okay, and then so from there, right, what we need to do is kind of take a step back and reevaluate and see what's going on. And what I really like about the 60-minute chart is it can give you a very, very clear signal when the composure is changing, right? And so we definitely had the little double top type move right here. There's a harmonic there for sure. There was intraday volume leading into this move down. But you very, very simply, just to look for a change in composure where you kind of change your stance from being bullish to bearish. And don't forget, guys, we're in a macro downtrend. So anytime we see bearish setups, volume happening on the bearish side, we get excited, right? Because we assume that we're going to see more moves in the direction of the macro trend, right? And so when we look at this candle right here, right, we can see this candle right here that really broke down nicely off of this doji reversal. And look what happened with the volume, right? Big increase in volume on the 60-minute chart, very rare. Right, and so that helps us, that clues us in that we're looking at a larger reversal. Now, were we expecting it to make this type of drop during the day today? No, but a lot of times these type of big reversals, especially in the 60-minute chart, can be intraday moves, right? Just to kind of show you an example, let's see if I can show you a bullish reversal example right here. Right, so we're moving down right here, and then boom, check out the volume on this second candle right here. Look at that. Right? You think they were trying to get bullish here? And look at that. That was good for the rest of the day and ended up working its way up here, right? So we can see that. So these reversals can give us some big clues. And this candle today, it was no exception, right? So it was just a beautiful breakdown candle right here off of the doji candle and increasing volume. And that increasing volume really gets us interested on the downside. And that is exactly what happened. And the next candle down where it started to get amping up the volume. Once that volume starts to cross over the prior volume and you're still open in the candle, you got some great opportunities. And these were really phenomenal opportunities intraday. On the short side, right? So with the SPX, and you can kind of see in here where the volume really started to kick in, right? You got a couple nice moves right here, low volume retraces and back down. So very, very nice stuff. And again, here's your harmonic, your bearish harmonic intraday too. So here, I'll draw it for you so you guys can see it. So here's your up move, down move about 382. If I give me here, look at that one all the way down here for a beautiful, beautiful harmonic move here today. Looks like a crab. Right, and you can see here, you just go to the extension here to here, oops, here to here to here. So we got, look at that, all the way past the 3.61, perfect crab pattern right here too. In fact, it got really close to the crab right here, for almost at least an attempt at a retrace on that one. But beautiful, beautiful harmonic move today, intraday. So again, all based on that volume move on the 60-minute chart. So keep in mind, look at those bigger time frames. Look at that volume when you look to see a change in composure or look to see any momentum in the direction that you're going to trade. Okay? So good stuff, guys. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. And we'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So here's good stuff. Anyway, here's that volume here on SPY, right? We closed under the 80 MA here, but the volume was not quite there yet. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, Shirley sent a few via email here, so let's take a look at these and see what we got. So you got Shirley's got win on the radar. Shirley, you've been doing great out there. Yeah, interestingly enough, the casinos held in well today. In fact, a lot of those kind of usual suspects, right, from the Corona crash were actually pretty strong here. So win was a nice breakout candle right here, kind of this double, triple doji up right here, low volume, and then boom, big blast out of volume in here. Good option activity on it today, so pretty cool stuff there. See if it tries to get up to the 50-day moving average. Halliburton, again, the oil names, really still trying to push their way to the upside. Halliburton with a big upper shadow, kind of tough on that, but decent. Mara with the Bitcoin move, guys, we called Bitcoin in our group, on this day right here before this breakout candle at 5 in the morning in the Discord. I was like, guys, it looks like Bitcoin's working on a harmonic right here, and it really is. It did. It got to the 1.618, got to the 2.618, and it's working its way up to the 3.618. Beautiful move right there, guys. Over a 20,000, almost 20,000 point move since we pointed it out. I mean, really, really cool stuff. Anyway, great move right there. So good on Mara. So again, see if that continues to move there with Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin's got a little bit of room. And look at Sophie, guys, right from the bubble report this morning too. This is our gapper list idea, and once it cleared that 720 level that we put in the bubble report, wow, did we get some volume and a nice push in there, and a great move to the upside coming out of the cloud here today too. And again, it all started with the kind of the Morgan Stanley type initiation this morning. We kind of have this reverse cup and handle right here, right? So there's a cup, your handle, right? A couple of nice levels right there that we just broke out of, and just a good move on Sophie today. So good stuff. And then KSS, the retail sector was weak today, and Kohl's is no exception, right? So a big breakdown right here. Again, the retail sector and the credit card sector was actually pretty weak. So it's kind of interesting stuff. A little bit of a bear flag type move right there. So definitely one to keep on the radar, on the bearish radar going into tomorrow if this weakness continues. So good stuff. Thank you, Shirley. Really appreciate it. Michael Phillips, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You got mRNA on the radar. Yeah, getting tight down here, right? So I'm kind of a permit bear on this one, but big bear flag right here. So again, see if we can break down there with some increasing volume and where we go from there. Any, yeah, so this was a nice little hot mover today. Double inside day up. I mean, you just can't, decent volume, right? Kind of a volatile name, but it is what it is. Gave a good move today. We actually had some members that traded this today and did well on it. So good job on that. Sociedad, yeah, this is probably not one, but interesting minor name right there. So it's pretty cool stuff there with a little big spinning top. OCGN, this is not typically one I would normally trade, right? But Ocugen, again, strong candle right there, pushing over those moving averages, but watch out for the cloud. And then Bros, Dutch Bros. Again, nice inside day up. After recently hitting the market, right? So pretty cool stuff there with some good volume. So yeah, let's see if we get some follow through the upside on Bros. It's cool stuff. Great finds, Michael. Really appreciate it. J-Moss, what's going on? Good to see you. Good evening. You got BE on the radar. Again, upper shadow off the 50-day moving average. A little bit of caution off of that one. And then any, again, where's the any key, right? Just hit the any key, right? So anyway, right? So nice kind of triangle breakout here today, guys. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw like a little bit of a pause day tomorrow, and then maybe see if it holds the cloud and kind of works its way up from there. But again, kind of a meme-ish type name, but we'll see. Good move on that one. Great stuff. Thanks, J-Moss. Really appreciate it. And Shreya, what's going on? Good to see you. You got Trip on the radar. Let's take a look. Bunch of upper shadows there in the cloud, so struggling still a little bit to get going. SSYS, woo! Look at that, 3 white soldiers to the upside as it continues to work its way up. Incredible move there over the 200-day moving average. Nice find on that one. DOCN, hanging on to the ADMA. Green day today, so not too bad. And Roku, Roku still above the ADMA, guys. It could be a triple pause day. But watch for any volume breakdown below the ADMA on this one. I might want to return to the scene of the breakout from the other day just to give Kathy a little more stress on this name, right? She'll probably end up selling some more Tesla. So we got that going on. And AVAB, again, another green candle here, but watch that upper shadow there over the ADMA. So good stuff there. And then Ness is going to see a Nutanix. I always think this is like a dog food company, but whoa, nice kind of momentum inverted hammer right there. So look to see if that breaks down any farther below today's lows. And then JR, I know volume, pump up the volume. I love it. Disney, ooh, look at that. That's kind of like a 2-day evening star reversal, right? So you got the double star right there. But yeah, that's a rough pullback there on Disney. So again, a lot of media names were weak today. Like Comcast was weak today, and I mean, they're just struggling. So FSOY, let's take a look. Green day right here under the 50-day moving average, inside day up on that one. Still kind of making a little bit of move, a little recovery from the big internet debacle the other day. And then the big C, with kind of a shooting star there off of the big inverted hammer there, kind of gravestone doji off of the ADMA on that one there too. JR, yeah, my pleasure. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And then S also got ABMD right there. Again, breakdown below the ADMA, kind of not enough volume to get too excited about. Wing with a decent reversal today. I think this had a little bit of news today. And then iRobot with a breakdown. This had some news too. A breakdown below the ADMA. Shark Ninja, U.S. Patent Office and Appeal Board invalidates all asserted claims of a third iRobot patent. So there you go. Pretty exciting stuff right there. Again, still below the ADMA, back below the 50-day on iRobot. So we got that going on. John Turner, what's going on? Good to see you. You got the joint on the radar here. Double inside day. So let's see which way it decides to break out of that crazy range. Piton, again, with the inside day last week, was kind of getting strong right there. And maybe it'll be a wave 2 pullback. I think Paul was talking about that one last night. Sam with the double inside day. So there's another interesting one to keep an eye on, see if it's getting ready to move. BlackRock with the big upper shadow off the ADMA. So a little bit of caution there. SMG, again, getting really, really tight. Right, so let's see how that does. Maybe it'll make a move after earnings. We'll see. GSHD, Goosehead again with the three white soldiers on that one. So see if that gets any follow to the upside. We also got Band on the radars too. Still just kind of riding down the ADMA on that one, and then ESTC. Again, you get about three white soldiers on this one too, kind of coming out of the daily cloud as well. Good volume on Friday on this one. Kind of an elastic move for that one, so good stuff. GZ growth, what's going on? Good to see you. RFP turn around. Look at that. Woo! Big move on it. Got really, really tight, and then an explosive move to the upside. And then maybe we'll see if we get turned around Tuesday. We got a big upper shadow off of that one. And then nobody blaming OPEX for selling. Because we haven't hit OPEX yet, right? But getting kind of interesting. Yeah, really at this point now, the selling is probably more related to the holiday and all, and the fact that we're in a downtrend. But OPEX coming up too could be interesting. We'll see. What type of hedging we're doing here to the downside. Again, as the puts get increased, right, we can see some downside hedging. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. And then Trey also got PD on the radar. See how that goes. Could be a pause day to the downside. So a little bit of caution off of that one there too. And then JR, volume exactly. It's always input. Sometimes we forget about it, right? We forget. We're like, oh yeah, look, it's going up. But there's no volume, right? Just like this morning, it was really bullish until it wasn't, right? And then once we saw the volume on that reversal, it was like, oh, now we're bearish, right? So it's kind of it helps you change composure. It really is good stuff. PLTR with another inside day, big upper shadow off the ADMA on that one. CJ, good to see you. And then AMD. Again, AMD kind of interesting, still holding the ADMA. Again, possible it could break down right here. It's just in a kind of a funky pattern right now. So just let's see what it does. See if we can kind of break out one way or the other. And then Tracy, good to see you. I hope you're doing great. You got Sedge on the radar. Let's take a look. Yeah, big push on that one, but a nasty upper shadow. So caution there too. Baba back to the 50-day moving average and kind of an engulfing candle, just engulfing the moving average there. So again, a little bit of caution off of this one. We'll see what type of China action we get going into tomorrow. Again, it's always a gapping up or gapping down, right? AFRM, a lot of folks have been liking this one right here. That had a big push and kind of grinded its way up. Almost dark cloud covered today, kind of a nasty candle. So a little bit of caution there. Big reversal candle on that. Facebook, again, still leaning bearish on this one, guys. I've got like this dual bear flag on this. Potential, a lot of people have been bearish on it. I think Facebook might want to try to get its way to the 200-day moving average if the market continues to be blah. And NVIDIA is pretty bearish too. Again, a big push to the upside and then back down and back under the ADMA with an upper shadow on this one. So if the semis are weak, keep an eye on NVIDIA for a cloud breakdown. And then we got kind of this type of flaggish type move right here, right? And then we'll see if NVIDIA is ready to work its way down past that 200 level, right? So definitely another one to keep an eye on there. Good stuff. And then SSYS, yeah, nice one on that one, Shreya. And beautiful on the weekly chart. Is room to 30? Maybe on the SSYS. Big breakout on that one. If we go 30 here, let's take a look. So beautiful breakout right here through this key level, right? And next level up, I'd be careful. It could get there, but 29 is your next level, right? Is your next big one. And then, right, if you can get through there, then you've got that guy, right? You've got kind of that. You might be able to get over 30. So keep an eye on that too. Very, very cool stuff. Good. Well, great stuff, guys. Awesome chart requests tonight. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad everybody was able to make it. So this is a fun stuff. Again, we're going to show some cool ways that we can use volume throughout the week. We'll give some examples as they set up, and just like SPX today and SPY. So again, guys, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you guys bright and early right here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, guys, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you guys soon.